Alright, so we're finally back at it. Goodness gracious. I wasn't going to do this, and then I was, and then I wasn't, and then I was. I couldn't make up my mind myself, but we are going to do another extra content video here, and really for a number of reasons here. So I'll kind of explain what I'm gonna do in this video, but the most important thing right now is before we finish chapter 6 as part of the main story, I have to upgrade my horse. I have to get him to, sorry, not upgrade my horse. I have to get my horse to the highest bonding level, which is going to be bonding level 4, Buell. I'm pretty close, but I need to kind of run around a little bit and just kind of get that done. I think I've only got about 2 main story missions left, so I'm kind of running out of time to complete that, and I want to make sure I have a fully bonded horse. I was tipped off that it would be worth it doing that, so I want to definitely accomplish that. That's one of the kind of the main things that I've been wanting to accomplish as part of the main story right now. So this video will give me a good opportunity to do that. Also, with everything going on right now with COVID-19, it's obviously a good opportunity for me to get even more content out there, to work on some more content. I'm currently out of a job right now, so hopefully I'll be able to get a few more videos up, but this is just a chance for me to do more content, to share more content with you guys during a time when, honestly, most things are pretty much locked down here. So settle in with me and we'll get some stuff done here. Like the same as all the rest of my log missions, you don't necessarily have to watch this video. This is going to be all completely side content. Unlike some of the other log mission videos where you could watch them before you even watched part 1 of my main story covering Red Dead, you'll probably want to watch this a little bit later on into watching my full playthrough. But again, you can kind of watch this at any point. We're not really covering anything main. You do just have to know that, I am obviously trying to bond my horse as part of, something good that can come at the end of the game here. If you're not caught up to, I think I have part 68 or part 69 up already on YouTube. If you're not caught up to that and you're watching this video, I would highly recommend it, but again, totally not a necessity. So as part of this extra content video, the last 3 videos kind of covered collecting all of the rock carvings. So I used to walk through and we kind of methodically went through and collected all of the rock carvings. We completed kind of one strand of the log missions. Log missions are what I call the missions that we find in our log, most of them consisting of just collecting things and whatnot. I talked, if we did do a 4th extra content video, I was saying if we did do this video that I'm now currently doing, I was thinking about doing the dinosaur bones, but there's so many of them to collect. It makes more sense to me instead to cover legendary fish, and that's what my focus is going to be in this video. So Jeremy Gill has asked if you can catch and post 13 legendary fish to him. They are spread around in various fishing spots. Once caught, the legendary fish can be mailed from any post office. So, right now, I'm not going to obviously do all 12 legendary fish as part of this video. I probably won't get to all 12 or 13 of the legendary fish. But, for this video, I'll pick 3 or 4 legendary fish off the list, fish that I'm kind of interested in catching. We'll go ahead, we'll ride around to the different ponds, and that's where the leveling up of Buell, the bonding increasing of Buell will come in, having to ride to and from the different lakes and rivers to catch these fish. It gives me a good chance to kind of ride around a little bit, so that's good. But I'll pick about 3 or 4, we'll post them, we'll mail them. If I have to do another extra content video, we'll pick another 3 or 4, and we'll catch those fish. I don't really know how difficult it's going to be catching these fish. I have not caught a single one. I also thought because we have caught a handful of legendary animals, it makes sense. Might as well try and catch a couple legendary fish too, so we can get more of a full scope of what this game has to offer. I've been really lucky with the legendary animals of late, so hopefully that luck will transcend into luck on the legendary fish scale, so no pun intended. Anyways, that was a really, really awful pun joke. I take that back. Can we edit that out? Anyways, so I have the list of 12 of the 13 legendary fish. I believe the 13th legendary fish can only be caught after catching the first 12 legendary fish. Just like the legendary animals, once you catch a legendary fish, you can't recatch that fish. Pretty simple rules. So for this one, I was going to focus on the legendary lake sturgeon, the legendary muskie, and I was going to do probably the smallmouth bass and the largemouth bass, or perhaps maybe just one or the other. So one positive thing is I already own most of the special lures, most of the special lake, special river lures, special pond lures, swamp. So as I'm kind of going through this list, I am using the Eurogamer walkthrough. Again, that's the walkthrough that I used for the rock carvings in the other log mission extra content videos. So I'm using Eurogamer.net again for this. They have a great walkthrough up that really easily you can select, which fish you want to catch, etc. So anyways, the lake sturgeon is Southern Railroad Bridge leading to Saint-Denis. And we'll see if we're close here. I don't think I'm close. I'm kind of in Annisburg right now. Okay, so stand on the edge of the bridge to avoid trains. Yeah, probably a good idea. And that's the special river lure. But actually, there was a muskie. There's muskie. The legendary muskie is in Van Horn, so let's go there. I have actually sought out a number of legendary fish locations. As you can see, I've already unlocked the muskie location. I've been to Van Horn before. I've discovered it as legendary fish location. So most of the ones I come across I've probably already discovered as a location. I've just never really attempted to catch them. And this one in particular is a special river lure. So it might take me a little while to get back into things here as well. So I apologize if the fish aren't really biting to start, if I'm not having a whole lot of luck. A lot of that's going to be out of my control, I get that, but just, I might lose the fish a couple times and stuff like that, so please don't hate me. Please don't send me hate mail. Hamish taught me a lot when it comes to fishing. One of my most successful fishing kind of encounters was the fishing mission that you can do with Hamish. And honestly, from that video, I think it was part 50 something that I did that. I can't reference it exactly where I went fishing with Hamish, but we did do that in the past as part of our main story set of videos, because I think it was one of Hamish's stranger missions, obviously. But he kind of was the one that got me really interested in it, and that's why I thought, instead of these dinosaur bones, we already kind of collect something. Let's do something a little bit different. And plus, if I start collecting the dinosaur bones, I'm going to want to end up getting them all. Not necessarily the same with legendary fish. Like I said, I likely won't catch them all. I'm hoping to get maybe 3 to 6 to start off here. If I have a lot of fun with this, we could always do a 5th extra content video and keep this rolling. I'm healthy. I hope y'all are. Stay safe. Most importantly, just kick back in your pajamas and play some Red Dead with me. Pajamas. I don't know, is that a weird way of saying pajama? Is it pajamas or pajamas? Gotta know now. Every little bit of riding here is important with Buell. So as much as I want to catch these legendary fish, like I said, my goal number 1 here is to get Buell to the max bonding level. That's what really kind of irked me to do another extra content video. It was a perfect excuse for me to waste some time riding around with Buell to get him where he needs to be going into presumably the epilogue. Okay, so this particular one, I think it recommended standing by the lighthouse. That's the lighthouse there. I think we have to go, like, right to the rocks. Okay, there is a little bit of a pathway. I don't think I've ever been out to the lighthouse here, so... I don't know if I have to stand, what does it say? At the foot of the lighthouse, so I should be able to get a good view of it here. Okay. So realistically, we're looking right about literally on this small kind of rock right here. If we can stand there, we should be successful in getting this muskie. So it's this little rock out here. Whoa! I'll have to be careful. The rocks are probably really slippery around here. If you've ever walked around rocks by a lake or pond or whatever, you know how slippery they can be, just like that. Ooh. So Arthur's gonna get a little wet, but only up to elbow height, so not as bad as it could be. We got our fishing rod here. Got our old fishing rod here. That's officially the worst southern accent known to man. We're gonna pick our bait here, so we need the special river lure, I believe it was. No, the muskie. Special river. So the special river lure is used for catching legendary fish that live in rivers. Alright, are you ready? Let's see where our luck is at right now. Hopefully time of day and stuff like that doesn't have too much of an impact. I have a feeling that catching these are going to be a lot more complicated than what I'm anticipating. But a muskie is what we're going after right here. We're going to try and do the muskie, the lake sturgeon, assuming that you know, they're not miles apart from each other. I'm not going to do the lake sturgeon if I have to go all the way out to, Jesus, Owangilla Lake, way over by Strawberry. I mean, talk about bonding with your horse. You'd be in love with your horse by the end of that trip because you'd probably be insane. Okay, so there's a bit of a trick, for sure.
Come on.
I know you have to slowly... Oh! You have to hold L2, slowly rotate. The rod will be pulled strongly downwards after a bite. Tap R2 to attract fish by flicking the line. Flicking too often will spook the fish. They're kind of giving us a brief rundown again of kind of the fishing situation. I've had some great, or fishing instructions rather. I've had some great fishing experiences. There was one of my extra content videos I fished on like a lake at night, but it was like a frozen lake with only some parts where you could kind of cast, and it was slightly snowing, so that was a great memory for me. I think that was in our first extra content video. Oh, you could see a couple different fish following me there. They look like muskie. There's the legendary muskie, but there's probably going to be a lot of other muskie around too that we don't want to catch. I don't want to spend too long at one fishing spot either, because again, I want to stay focused with making sure that we are still riding. If I spend 45 minutes of my playtime in one fishing spot, I'm not going to get a lot of riding with Buell done, and then this extra content video and the whole purpose of, you know, doing this is kind of lost. So, not that catching these legendary fish isn't important, but the only real reason I'm doing this is for Buell. That's a pretty big fish following me right here. Them muskie are pretty big. I've seen a few muskie in my day. I remember as a kid, the first time seeing a muskie, like seeing a gigantic fish go underneath the dock at the marina, was like a terrifying experience because you realize how big these fish can actually be. Creeps you out a little bit. Lake sturgeon, and we'll see that Hopefully, as one of our other catches, whether we catch legendary fish or not, we should catch at least one muskie and one lake sturgeon. But the lake sturgeon are huge fish as well. And I find the bigger the fish that you get, same within real life, the bigger that the fish is, the harder it is to catch, obviously. The trickier and the smarter, I think, personally, they can be as well. You know, if you go fishing... Yeah, anything biting. Doesn't really look like it, does it? You know, you toss a lure out or a worm out at where I am here, anyways, my current geographical location. You know, chances are you're going to get like a really small fish, like a sunfish or a perch, in comparison to catching like a bass or something a little bit larger, like a pickerel or a pike or even a muskie. For muskie, a lot of times you have to use gigantic lures, really, really big lures. Basically lures that mock being like actual fish. I wonder if using live bait would help here. My understanding is that these special lures that I've bought from various general stores, you know, are supposed to be for catching these legendary fish, but
see if anything's biting.
I haven't even had a single bite here right now. And this was the recommendation from Eurogamer. Special river lure, Van Horn trading post at the foot of the lighthouse. Oh. Oh no! When the fish is struggling, control it with L instead of reeling it in. Oh. See, I knew there was a trick to it. So when the fish is struggling, I have to just pull with L. When it stops struggling and relaxes, then I reel it in. Okay, well, we got a bite. And the other thing that I learned there was I was reeling in a little bit too slowly. Coronavirus blues got you down? Join Arthur Morgan on a fishing adventure. Fridays at 7. Only on Sweetfish Plays. Okay, so it's struggling. Now it's not. Please be a muskie. It's really not struggling right now, eh? Now it is.
Give up already. You're mine.
Whoa. Yeah, there's a trick to reeling it in too. Push and hold R in any direction to prevent the fish pulling out line. Okay, when it starts to struggle. Okay, that was the other trick to it. You have to stop letting it take line out, because if you keep letting it take out line, then all the progress I'm making in reeling it in, I'm not really getting anywhere, because every time it struggles, it's just pulling more line out. Hope if that makes sense. See, I let him get a little bit too much line there. I didn't react quick enough with the R stick.
Easy does it.
There's a lot. You gotta hold down L2, you gotta use R2, you gotta use both control sticks. It would appear, to me anyways, that the fish is getting a little bit closer. Could this be the legendary fish, ladies and gents? I really hope so. I have a feeling that I'm gonna hate myself after choosing this as the next extra content to cover, because of the serious hand pain that comes as a result of fishing, bringing back some real Ocarina of Time memories. God, I remember playing that on the Nintendo 64 and screaming in pain. No, maybe not screaming in pain, that might be a little dramatic. It can hurt like hell though. I don't remember the 3DS remakes of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask being a lot easier either. It's so close. It's so close. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Hell to the yeah. What do we got here, Arthur? Holy mackerel, that's a large fish. So this is a 14-pound muskie. A 14-pound muskie. It is not the legendary muskie that we're looking for. I assume that it'll let us know when that has happened. The muskellunge ambush their prey and are a fighting fish. Cooked for their flaky meat, they prefer striking lake lures. Interesting that they prefer striking lake lures. Yeah, it's recommended that I use a special river lure. So also, the one thing to note here that is the legendary fish that I have a picture of here is kind of like striped almost. So that gives us kind of an idea of what we're looking for here. I'm going to keep this muskie because this is a great thing to bring back to camp. And I won't do that as part of the extra content video when I start my next regular stream, which is going to be part 70 now. Whenever I record that, I will take whatever fish I catch from this video and bring them back to camp then. Okay, so in order for me to keep this fish, wow, this muskie is in really, really good condition too. The only way for me to keep this fish is to bring it back to my horse. But this presents a slight problem for me because I have to swim in the water to get there. Oh, I just slipped and dropped my fish. Please don't swim away. Okay, now I have to stand on this rock and hopefully I can pick it up from here. Doesn't look like it. Oh, this is not working out very well for me, unfortunately. Here's my concern too, is that once I get off this rock, say for example I catch the fish here, the muskie, how the hell am I supposed to get the legendary muskie back to land? I'm gonna have to stand more here and cast out this way. It seems to be more over there anyways. Whoa. My horse is trying to help me out here. I just killed this fish by taking it out of water. It's creeping me out, Arthur holding this massive fish, by the way. It's really, really not a great sight for me, but... Can I, like, push the fish? Who knew it would be this hard to get a fish? Pick the fish up, please. Okay, well. Now I gotta try and get this horse, whoa, back to land. Thanks for trying to help me out, Buell, but you gotta be more careful. Last thing I need is for you to die. So I'm gonna try something a little different here. I'm gonna try to cast from the lighthouse. I don't know if that's something that I'll be able to do. You are too far away from the water's edge to cast here. Okay, I figured that would probably be the case. I definitely want to cast out here at least once more. Wow. Hopefully I'm able to catch a couple legendary fish here. Like, I understand that it's difficult, but... hopefully I'll be able to catch something. Let's stand kind of underneath the lighthouse here, see if maybe that makes a little bit of a difference. Whoa. Whoa. Slippery rocks. Trying to think of a cool jingle to sing there. Nothing came to my head. All I got was slippery rocks. Yeah, you do have to reel it in a little bit quicker for these fish. Got something hooked. Oh boy. It's pretty close already. Oh, that's a big one.
Got you. Well, I damn well got you.
Oh, that looks like it could be
You're a
it.
fine-looking muskie.
Legendary muskie, 36 pounds, 7 ounces. Wow, it was a lot closer to the shore than what I was expecting. Record muskie have been pulled out of the waterways near Van Horn Trading Post. Special lake or river lures are best. So if you're using this as more of a guide when doing legendary fishing on your own, I would strongly recommend using the special river lure for the muskie, the legendary muskie found by the Van Horn Trading Post. This is amazing. Now here's the hard part again, trying to get back up to the horse without dropping the damn fish. Oh no! Oh. A slip and a fall. Maybe a little damage to the fish there, but I mean, I don't think the fish cares. Can I carry more than one fish at a time? And what the hell am I supposed to do with legendary fish? I'll have to call my horse.
Yep.
More so over here. So I'm gonna replace the muskie that I had caught with the legendary muskie. I was only gonna take that muskie if I needed to. And yes, I'm gonna be one of those awful human beings who just leaves the dead fish on the shore. Because we raised Arthur Morgan's honor does not make Arthur Morgan the most honorable man in the world. Wow, that's a great shot right there. Coming up over the dusk. All you can see is the shadow of Arthur Morgan. In the cool evening breeze.
I'm done with all you fools.
Van Horn is typically a place that I don't like to stalk. It's kind of like a Gary, Indiana, right? Or like
Goddamn idiot.
yeah, Gary, Indiana is about the best example that I can give to you. Van Horn, nothing but assholes these days, says a stranger. So we have to take these legendary fish and ultimately mail them to Jeremy Gill, because that's part of the log mission. The official log mission. Apparently we spoke to him way back in chapter 2, or after chapter 2 his stranger mission becomes available. We met him on the docks by Flatiron Lake, I believe, and he's the guy that ultimately, he's an avid fisherman. I think he's a famous fisherman. I think when we first met him he mentioned something like that, but that's who we're supposed to be giving all these legendary fish to. Unlike the legendary animals, where as far as I know, we're just kind of catching them to catch them. This is more of like an actual side stranger kind of collectible log mission.
Hello again. Okay, what you need
I'd like to send this legendary muskie, sir.
Should get there safe.
Good luck mailing a dead
Thanks for your
fish.
help.
All those people dead over a wagon of dynamite. This place keeps going from bad to worse.
So he's actually going to pay me for these legendary fish too, which is kind of cool, because at least then I'm getting some reward out of it. You know, $5 is not a lot, but it's something. So legendary lake sturgeon. So this is the one on the Southern Railroad Bridge leading to Saint Denis. Stand on the edge of the bridge to avoid trains. I think I've unlocked this location as well. Like, I should be able to see it on my map. Lake sturgeon is what we're looking for. We're not too far away from Saint-Denis. It's probably about a 5-minute ride away from us in real time, so not too bad. So it's right here. So it's on this bridge, and the suggested standing spot. Yeah, we want to make sure we stand on the edge, because to catch this one, we'll be standing literally on the railroad bridge, and that's a pretty high traffic railroad area coming into Saint-Denis there. You can see there's multiple railroad lines that come into Saint-Denis and kind of converge at the railroad station, which is right by the stables here. It's this big rail yard right here. You can see it branches off into about 3 or 4 different rail lines there. So we're going to want to definitely just stay vigilant. I don't know if I've been hit and killed by a train yet to this point in the game. I think trains hit me once or twice, but it's something that I definitely do not want to encourage happening. So we're going to want to get right about here. It's probably about as close to the little diagram of the legendary fish on the map there as we can get.
Hey. Hello, mister.
This is supposed to be a general guide as to the location of the fish. I don't even really need to use the guide, because like I said, a lot of these legendary fish, I can't even talk. A lot of these legendary fish are already posted up on my map, so you know, a lot of the work there is already done. I've already discovered a lot of the locations. It's just the actual work part of it, the actual catching that you know, has needed to be done. But the guide, just, you know, I can be particular about what kind of fish I want to catch. I'm just selecting a couple fish that I, you know, happen to kind of know and I'm kind of interested in catching. You know, like if I just looked at my map and went, oh, let's catch this legendary fish here, I couldn't even tell you what it was. And also it gives me an idea of what kind of lure I need to be using, what's best to catch. And I mean, the lures in this game are super easy to understand, because there's the swamp lure, the river lure, and the lake lure, and then there's a special version of each of those lures as well. So really you just have to go, am I fishing in a swamp, am I fishing in a river, or am I fishing in a lake? And what am I trying to catch?
Anyone not kill you already?
There's some lom in there, and I'm in wanted dead or alive territory as part of where I'm at right now with my main story, so we're gonna want to try and steer clear of there. That's one thing I was hoping too. I was hoping that a lot of these fish locations wouldn't be in the one area of the map where I'm wanted dead or alive, but so far not so good. So far I haven't been so lucky. Anyways, this guide is just kind of like confirmation to me that you know, I'm maximizing my abilities to catch these legendary fish. They're already going to be challenging, so I can make them less challenging by kind of already having knowledge of them going into them and the best place to stand and that kind of a thing. So that's kind of why I'm using the guide and not just going to different locations that I've already discovered. Man, I'll tell you something. I always really look forward to doing the main story stuff. I have not looked forward as much to doing the extra content videos, but once I'm actually doing them, I end up having a blast with them. That happened with collecting the rock carvings. I ended up having way more fun, and I think the response from you guys was very positive too, and that's kind of motivated me to do this one and kind of continue going, you know. So I just want to thank you guys for the support in doing this as well, obviously. Screw Netflix and chill. What about Sweetfish Plays and chill? That's got a better ring to it if you ask me. So now when you go over to your little girlfriend's house, your little boyfriend's house tonight, you can, and they say, hey, what did you do? Or what do you want to do? The answer is not Netflix and chill. It is Sweetfish Plays and chill. I should get a t-shirt made that says just that. Suddenly my merchandise ideas in my head are churning. How, now that I'm jobless, maybe I can make a bigger push with this. I was doing really well uploading videos there for a while, and then I have definitely slacked off, probably for the last couple of weeks. I knew that this was coming, having to do this extra content video, and I was just really procrastinating. I don't know why I was procrastinating doing this so much. Same with part 69. That's finally been uploaded. And part 70 as well. Like, everything has just been, like, I've just been procrastinating. I've been procrastinating recording. I've been procrastinating uploading, and I'm like, dude, like, you're off. Like, get some streams done. Connect with your fam here on YouTube. Like, I've had a very active community as of late compared to what I've been used to, and you know, what else do we have to do right now other than kind of engage with each other? Especially through great outlets like YouTube, where, you know, you are kind of conforming to social distancing, but still connecting. Okay, things got way too deep there. Let's get back on track. So we are riding out to the Lake Sturgeon location. I shared this tidbit of information in part 69, which, again, if you're not caught up with the main story series of missions, definitely go check that out. But
Slow up now.
what the hell? My understanding is that your horse's XP will go up primarily when it's well fed. Oh, there's an animal there. Looks like a gator or something. Oh, shoot. I gotta get out of here.
Damn.
There's gators around here like you wouldn't believe. Jesus Christ. I swear to God, if this thing gets eaten by a gator. Oh my God, that's a big fish. Holy, what is that? That's a rat. A fish just literally swam up and, like, beached itself. So yeah, your horse has to be well. I keep getting off track here. I'm sorry. I'm going off on a tangent. Yeah, so we want to keep it well fed, and also, oh, that's an alligator. That's a gator. We got a gator. And when you're running it, when you're expending the stamina of the horse, unnecessarily like sprinting with it to get from point A to point B, then that will actually decrease the amount of XP you get from riding, which is interesting. So keeping it fed and not being too strenuous with your horse are the two most important things in determining XP. Would you look at that just from the riding that we did today? And I didn't check where my horse was at XP wise for bonding when we started this video, but I'm pretty sure at the end of recording part 69, which was the last video that I recorded before doing this extra content, I was probably at about 1400 or 1500 in terms of progress. So we've gone up quite a bit here, and we haven't really done a lot of riding. It's been a bit, but we haven't really had to do a lot. So we should be able to max out bonding level here. We shouldn't have to do another extra content video just to focus on bonding. So it looks like if I cover a 5th or 6th extra content video, it's going to be just to get some more legendary fish if I want to. Makes the choice kind of up to mine. Hey, at least we did another extra content video. I have 4 now instead of just the trilogy of rock carving videos. Oh, Jesus. I didn't want my horse to be on the tracks with me. I want my horse to stay there. I will stay on the tracks, though. Just want to avoid as many casualties as possible. And we need, what, the special river lure again for this lake sturgeon. Keep pushing me, you never know. I thought I was never ever going to do extra content videos. I thought I would never stray away from just focusing on the main story because of my streaming time. It just wasn't consistent enough. I ended up doing the trilogy of rock carving videos. Now here we are already with a 4th Red Dead extra content video. We've had some fun with Red Dead for sure, beyond just you know, the main plot and kind of sticking with the story missions. We definitely have branched out a little bit. So no doubt about it, we should definitely hear a train coming if there is one on its way. Hopefully, you'd think. And I mean, I'm standing like right on the edge here, so as far as I'm concerned, ain't no train should hit me here.
Okay.
It took me a few casts to get that legendary muskie, so it may very well take a few casts to get this lake sturgeon. You can see some movement in the water. I got really lucky with the legendary muskie. Not so much the regular muskie I caught, but the legendary muskie I caught so close to shore that I barely had to reel it in at all. It was basically already right at my feet. And what a beautiful time to go fishing too. We get to see the
I got
sunrise
something hooked.
over the Saint Denis area, over the bayou. It's beautiful. This one is struggling, but it's coming closer to me, which is good. Because then I can just reel her in like this.
Mine's gone.
What? Oh man, I lost it. Oh shoot. Alright, so I just really don't want to fall off these tracks here. I mean, the fish seem to be biting here. I think I was a bit too quick with my reeling there. Man, some of these fishing spots in this game are beautiful. How does a game like this arguably have better fishing than, you know, titles that are exclusively fishing titles? Red Dead is not exclusively a fishing game, yet it has better fishing than, like, any Rapala game I've ever played. What the hell? Okay, so I'm definitely missing something here. Maybe there's not as much train traffic coming through here as I thought. We actually haven't seen a single train yet.
That's it, I think, yes.
This one's really causing a...
Kidding.
What the hell, man? Here's what keeps happening. The fish keeps swimming too close to the tracks. You see, it's kind of like a pier in the water. The tracks are kind of built on top of like the foundation, like the bridge. It's like a bridge, right? Like a railway bridge going over the water. And so I think the fish is swimming too close to that, and the line is kind of being cut. And it's not allowing me to get...
Here we go.
to keep the fish on my line. I'm not having any problems getting bites right now. That's 0% of my issue. I wouldn't be surprised if I've had the legendary fish on my hook a couple times now. I've had some big ones. See, it keeps swimming that away.
Oh, come here.
Come here. The fish looks almost dead. It's not even moving. It's not even struggling anymore. This is awful. Come on. Holy Christ. It's a big one. We got something.
Well, I damn well got you.
That's it. That is it. Ladies and gents, a 46-pound legendary lake sturgeon. Large sturgeon can live for decades. This thing looks like it's been around since the Jurassic time, for Christ's sakes. The area southwest of Saint-Denis is known for large catches on any special lure. Interesting, because I guess the Saint-Denis area has rivers, it has swamps, it has kind of lakes. So ideally in the Saint-Denis region, it's good to know that you can actually really make this catch on any of the special lures. But again, emphasis on the special lures. You can't use the regular river lure. You can catch muskie, you can catch sturgeon on those lures, but you need the special lures when catching the legendary fish. So just like that, we already have 2 out of the 12 legendary fish. Officially, the list has 13, but I have found out exclusive Sweetfish Plays knowledge here that the 13 fish cannot be caught unless you catch the first 12 and then finish basically the main story, and then in the epilogue you can catch that 13th fish. But hopefully I'm not spoiling too much here, but you must have known that like an epilogue of sorts was coming after the main story here. We're pretty close in our main playthrough. Part 70 will probably not be the last main story for us, but we're definitely getting pretty close. We'll probably be done the Red Dead like main story and at least be onto the epilogue by about part 75. That's what I'm saying. If you're not caught up to part 69 on my channel right now and you're watching this video, that should be your top priority right now. You need to do whatever it takes. You need to stay up all night long for the next 3 weeks. If that's what it takes to get through this series, you damn well better. Anyways, moving on once again. Enough with these tangents. Good lord. Legendary Lake Sturgeon. We're keeping her. I swear to God, if a train comes down this track right now and runs me over with this legendary fish in my hands, I'm about to lose my head. So far, I've been a lot more successful, I think, than I initially anticipated. This has been a lot easier than I dreamt about. I love it. This is kind of fun, and when you finally catch these things, it's like it's almost rewarding enough. Man, did you guys see that thing? Oh, gross. Sturgeon are gross fish. They look prehistoric. Saint-Denis will be a high-profile area for me, just because it's so largely populated and I'm wanted dead or alive. There'll be lots of lawmen around, but my biggest priority right now is hitting up the post office so I can mail this fish. like most of the other extra content videos, I don't really want to have to stop if people are calling out to me and stuff like that. I just want to stick to the side log missions and what I'm trying to accomplish, because I don't want to spoil too much for the story, or if you're only watching the story stuff, I don't want you to miss any kind of in-between stuff. This is just all kind of extra content, like I call it. This is the train station. I'm sorry. I was thinking this is the mail office. This is it here. Just walks in with a massive, walks into the biggest post office in the entire land. Look at all the people in dresses and everything, and I just walk in the post office with a massive lake sturgeon. Look at these dirty looks. Haven't taken a bath in multiple days. Don't mind me.
I'll be tending to you shortly.
Shootout nearby, not more than a couple hours ago.
Hello, sir. I would like to send this legendary fish to somebody. So basically, it looks like each one of these legendary fish is going to be a $5 reward outside of completing the actual stranger mission and finishing up that little quest with Jeremy Gill. It might be worth it. If it's going to be this easy to catch these legendary fish, it may be worth pursuing more of them. But for this video, I'm just doing 3 or 4 of these fish until I get my horse to the highest spawning level, and then we'll discuss doing more legendary fish. Hey, we're not doing all legendary animals. At least we're getting some of these fish done. That's my opinion on it. And we're helping our main story progress on the way with being able to bond with my horse.
Hey.
I didn't want bonding the rest of my horse to be a part of the main story stuff, a part of my main series. This is all something that I can do coupled in as extra content.
I ain't got a lot going for me in here at the moment, so
I mean, I'd like to catch the pickerel, the perch.
You know how it is. I run my business, that's all. Well, what are you gonna do?
Wow, and probably the sockeye salmon. Pickerel, perch, and salmon. And I will try and do the largemouth bass right now. So the next thing I want to focus on is the largemouth bass, and then if I were to do another extra content video and choose another 3 fish, I would go pickerel, perch, and sockeye salmon.
Nerve on some people.
So let's do that. There's actually 2 different kinds of pickerel, so we'd have to probably pick one of them. But let's do largemouth bass, like I said. That's another one that I'm kind of interested in catching. So this one is... Oh, geez, I don't know where that is. The San Luis River. Just southeast of Lake Don Julio. I wonder if that's the 13 fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so the largemouth bass is actually going to be, I guess it's the 13th fish, the one that you have to catch in the epilogue. That kind of gives away a little bit main story in terms of potentially moving on to a new area. But anyways, we're going to move on past that. So we can actually get the largemouth bass. So let's try and get the smallmouth bass instead.
Where you find a station, you'll find a lot of trouble. You get a lot of visitors coming in and out of this place.
And isn't that hilarious? I said, I don't want to catch these fish if they're going to be on the other side of the map. Where's the smallmouth bass? Owanjila Lake, the lake that I specifically pointed out, saying I don't want to have to go that far, and figures that the fish that I want happens to be in that exact lake. Wow, the irony. Okay, so where does that leave us now? So let's do
nice to see some new faces through here.
Encounters you can find.
locals here are nice. Some are real sleazy. Just don't ask questions.
Let's do
Especially
it.
if
That's
they come
a
through
that's a
to just
long
pay off the
distance
band.
out. That should be more than
Thanks,
enough
partner.
time to bond the rest of the way with Buell. This is going to be a hell of a ride. Probably one of the further fishes distance-wise. Now might be a good time to feed and pat my horse and all that. I've tried to stay stocked up in things that I can feed my horse to. I've given him apples and hay and oatmeal and pears, and my horses are always fed well.
Good morning, sir.
Keeping your horses clean, that's another thing that can largely influence XP and bonding with your horse. A clean horse is a happy horse. Sound like I should be on an episode of Heartland or something like that. Christ. Horse whisperers. Okay, so we're going from here all the way over to Owangila. And more specifically, so we couldn't catch the largemouth. We could not catch the largemouth bass. So we're going to have to go after the smallmouth bass instead. Legendary fish location, Owangila Lake, just west of Strawberry. So let's see here. As you can see, again, I've already discovered the location of... What is this? And why is it marked on my map? That's interesting that that is listed on my map, because also in my log, I have a home robbery. Around Strawberry, and that looks like it could be pointing it out. I don't know. What do I even know anymore? Let's just go to Owangila Lake already. So we'll probably want to go around about there. I really didn't want to have to ride out that far, because that just means when we start, when I start recording part 70, the next main story part, in order to access main story missions, I have to ride all the way back out east again to Annisburg, but it's really not that big of a deal. I could probably take a stagecoach or something like that to get back across, so I'm not too worried. And then if we do another extra content video, there you go. Corresponding maximum. You've unlocked the ability to drift with this horse. Health is obviously increased with the horse. Stamina, all that good stuff gets increased. So now that's settled. So now when I resume recording main series parts, all we have to do are the main story missions. Maxing out bonding with Buell is done. That was a big thing for me the last couple of videos, really trying to focus on getting my bonding level up after I was tipped off about doing just that before finishing chapter 6. I wanted it to be with Buell. I've maxed out bonding with other horses before, Ab and Epona very early on in this game. I've had other horses, Doll, 101, lots of different cool horses. But Buell is the one that I wanted to take to the end with me here, so now that's done. That's a relief. Once we catch this smallmouth bass, I will probably call this video quits. We caught a quarter of the legendary fish, and maybe it's motivated me enough to try and catch some more, despite rapidly approaching the end of chapter 6 and rapidly approaching the end of the main story, really, or the story as we know it. I might be able to make a little bit more time to do another extra content video.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a guy hanging in a tree. Did I just see that? Oh, shoot.
Let's go.
It's a trap. I had a feeling. Oh, man. Who were those people? I don't even want to know. There's some weird people out in that world. Did you see those guys just start running at me from the woods and Arthur pulled his gun? Jesus. Once I catch the fish, I'll probably save and quit out there. Once I post the fish at the post office, obviously. Once I send it out. So then my goal next time to start will be getting Arthur back to 100% to start chapter 70, unless I pursue more fish catching. If I'm continuing on with the story, I'll need to firstly make sure I collect all my rewards for the fish. And then just re-up on everything, whether that means going back to camp to do that, to eat chow and all that, talk, sleep, or maybe just staying at a place in the Strawberry and then riding straight up to my mission from there. I don't know, we'll see. I guess only time will tell. We'll have to see how I feel about maybe catching some more of these fish. Oftentimes I just want to kind of jump back into the main story. I've never been much of a collecting guy in video games. I definitely have OCD sometimes, going around different areas, maybe over-exploring, over-focusing on certain things, but like collecting, oh man. I remember, I think it was what, Far Cry 3? Never actually finished, no, Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 3 had a lot of collectibles too, but you just look at the map and it's just littered with collectibles. That would take you probably weeks, I kid you not, of playing all day long to find them all, and it's just overwhelming. I find a lot of games have too many collectibles. I love the Far Cry series, and Assassin's Creed suffers from that too. I think it's mostly an Ubisoft thing, but just too many collectibles. Red Dead, I'm happy to say, same with Grand Theft Auto, I feel that it's not littered with too many collectibles. There are collectible side missions that you can do, but, you know, there's just, I don't know. It's done differently, I guess, better than just kind of lazily throwing 3,000 different collectible items across the map with basically zero incentive to collect them all. Like, I think one of the trophies for the collectibles in Far Cry 4 was like collect 80 of them, but there's actually like 120 of them throughout the world. So what incentive do you have to actually go out and collect all 120? That's the other thing too, is oftentimes I feel like with collecting missions, the reward is actually not really worth it. I don't know, how did you feel about what we got as our reward from doing the rock carving missions? Do you think that it was worth it to do that based on our reward? I don't think I covered getting our reward in an extra content video, part number 3, log missions number 3, under extra content. I think you can go back there and see what the reward is that I got for doing the rock carving mission. I can't remember exactly. I felt like it was okay, but same with these fish. Like, okay, I go out and get all 12 legendary fish, better damn well be worth something good. Kind of my fault. I'm definitely not catching these fish systematically. You know, there's probably a much easier way to kind of go lake from lake if you're trying to sit there in a video or two and catch all 12 at once, like back to back. There's probably a more systematic way of reaching them, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to catch all of them. So, you know, I wanted to select a handful of them that I would be interested in catching. If I were to catch some more, I would try and target, like I said, pickerel, the 2 different types of pickerel, perch, and the sockeye salmon. And then there's like friggin' bluegill and catfish, and not to be confused with the television show. You know, if you're getting a call from Neve that your life's probably about to take a turn for the worse.
Well, that's exactly what I've been looking for. You again? Ain't life funny? Well, check this out. Look at this, my friend. Tobacco. Nature's gift to us all. Focuses the mind like nothing else.
Whatever you say.
Well, I say, why buy it off the shelves when you can make your own? Well, plenty left here if you're interested. I'd best keep moving.
Let's go, boy.
I've come across that guy before. He just kind of introduced us briefly to different kind of like herbs and plants that can be found throughout the world. We've come across a number of different herbs. I've picked and eaten on the spot a number of different herbs throughout the game. That particular set of herbs was Indian tobacco. So you can actually craft tobacco items that will help your Deadeye. I assume, like, I don't know, I assume cigarettes and chewing tobacco and stuff like that as a means of improving your Deadeye. I've never really done that. I haven't really crafted a lot. That's another thing that I'm not really a huge fan of in open world games like this, is crafting. I got into it a little bit with Breath of the Wild. That's probably the furthest I've ever focused on you know, crafting. I'd rather go to a general store with my hard-earned money and buy it, to be perfectly honest with you, than be out in the wild with bears and alligators picking Indian tobacco.
Hold up.
Man, apparently my ability to follow the GPS here is extremely poor. It's not bad. By about an hour and a half, we should have been able. Will have been able to have bonded him to his max bonding level and catch 3 legendary fish. Both things that I wanted to accomplish in this particular extra content. Now that I don't have to bond my horse anymore, outside of actually catching the legendary fish, there's not a lot of incentive to do more extra content, but like I said, we might go catch some more. I think there's 2 or 3 main story missions left in Chapter 6 where I'm at, going into recording and posting Part 70 on my channel. So I don't really have a lot of time, as far as I know, to continue doing extra content. So if I was going to do another video, it would probably closely follow the release of this one. If not, it'll just be all main story to the end. That's what I've been trying to get at this whole time, and it finally came out clearly from my head. Sometimes I feel like midstream I'm like, what is the point here? Like, it just feels like verbal diarrhea coming from my mouth. But and then at the same time I remember that I'm very judgmental of myself and always trying to be too perfect. I've got a good response from you guys so far, and it goes a long way. Encouragement definitely goes a long way. This is the strawberry area. We finally made it across the plains, across the peaks, valleys, mountains, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is it. The place where me and Micah committed a massacre.
You ain't right, is you?
No, bro, you ain't right.
I asked for a mission, and this is my mission. To spread this message with as much joy and passion as I can muster.
Oh boy, okay. Onwards and forwards, shall we? Owangila Lake. So here's the
Mister,
stagecoach
need a
station.
coach?
So could I take a stagecoach to Annisburg? Oh no! Oh shoot! You've got to be kidding me.
Yep.
You have got to be kidding me. I got confused with the L2 and R2 buttons. I was trying to highlight the stagecoach driver so I could see what routes he offered and where I could go, and I accidentally pulled my pistol and shot him. Man, I don't know what it is about Strawberry, but my history in Strawberry has been a very dark one. God, don't you just hate it when you draw your revolver and shoot somebody accidentally? Hashtag not real world problems. Thank God I was already on the outskirts of town, and I don't really think anybody witnessed it. Lord knows they're probably used to gun violence there after the massacre. I was saying Owangila Lake is not too far. I shouldn't have tried to stop. If I want to take a stagecoach back somewhere, I can check that out later. I feel really bad for the poor guy now. Probably lost a little honor for that too. Wow, so this should be Owangila Lake. And we're using a special lake lure. So we've used the special river lure for the lake sturgeon and the muskie, but for the smallmouth bass, we're using the special lake lure.
Yeah.
While smallmouth bass are a little bit smaller than lake sturgeon and muskie, obviously, so my assumption would be that this fish should be a little bit easier to catch. Maybe it'll be smarter than the big fish, though. This after I had just contradicted myself not long ago saying that large fish are generally smarter. I am not Jeremy Gill. I do not know very much about fish. Clearly. Oh, this is actually the best spot probably to get the smallmouth bass if I cast out this way. So we want to use the special lake lure. We're going to retool to a new lure here. New lure, sorry. Lua.
Here we go.
Alright, smallmouth bass, bring it in. I do feel like I got the hang of it again now. Thanks, Hamish. He's looking down on me. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this video, you already know what becomes of Hamish and why I said that. Well, the fish are actually jumping, interestingly enough. We saw some movement there. We got a bite.
Ah, you kidding me?
What? Oh my god.
Okay.
That was pretty close. You can see multiple fish in the water here.
Oh, hook set.
Oh, it's literally so close. That thing is huge. Holy Christ, that fish is huge.
Oh, come here.
It's so close. Don't let go now. Come on, look at the size of this thing. It's gotta get tired, right? It's gotta get tired. Oh my gosh! You gotta be kidding me! God damn it! That is 100% the legendary fish, and I had it within a matter of a couple feet from me. That is frustrating, folks. Let me tell you. So freaking close, but no cigar, truly. God, that... Oh.
Okay.
Here it comes. Here it is again. It's so close. Bring it in. Bring it in. Yes, atta boy. This thing is huge.
You? All right.
Holy Christ, this is a 22-pound, 6-ounce legendary smallmouth bass. Trophy-sized smallmouth are known to live in Owanjila and hit special lake and river lures. So it doesn't actually look like you have to be too specific with your lures. This smallmouth bass was caught with the special lake lure, not the special river lure, but it looks like you can stick with the special river lure that I used to catch the muskie and lake sturgeon, and you can actually use that to catch the smallmouth bass here in Owanjila Lake as well.
Swim away, little fella.
Oh no! Oh no, I gave it back. Oh Christ, I have to send it via mail. Oh no. Oh, that is devastating. I have to actually catch it again, I think. Alright, well, we gotta do that all over again. I was just gonna say, perfect timing with the fishing too, because it just got to nightfall. Oh, I pressed the circle button instead of the X button. I'm getting tired. This is definitely gonna be our last catch of the day.
I got something hooked.
That's really frustrating because of how long that took me to get and how much of a pain in the ass this smallmouth bass was. Hopefully I can just go back and catch it right away again.
A little more, you're almost done.
Now it's raining and dark, which makes trying to find this thing...
Out of line, damn it. Let's see if anything's biting.
Oh man, that is really a bummer. I can't even believe that happened. Oh man. I have to catch it because I have to post it for it to count as a legendary fish.
Go now, I'm fishing. Got something. Oh, line. Damn.
This is not looking good. Oh man, I am so bummed out about that. I had it and I let the freaking thing go. Oh man, I don't even know. Look, that's the best cast I can give right now.
Gotcha. Easy does it. Easy. No. The line.
Oh my gosh. Really frustrating. Really frustrating to have caught it and then to now not be able to get it again. Like, I'm missing something here because I can't seem to reel it in. I honestly cannot seem to reel this thing in.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Don't fight too much. Give up already. You're mine.
Holy Christ. Okay, this time
I can't put you back.
we are going to keep it. Oh, the amount of anxiety that my left hand is suffering from right now far exceeds anything I ever thought capable. Okay, so obviously again, we're going to ride into the closest town, in this case being Strawberry. Just like that, we've knocked 3 legendary fish off of our map. Kind of ate away at that a little bit, but most importantly, we got Buell up to level 4 without having to just hope that the main story missions and the riding involved there would get the job done. I was able to take some time, do another extra content video. It's been requested and considered for a while now. We finally got to it, able to complete a little bit more of our compendium. We got to see what catching legendary fish is like. I may pursue some more legendary fish in the future. I got pretty much everything that I wanted to get done as part of this extra everything that I wanted to get done as part of this extra content video. I was able to get everything done that I wanted to. God, I can't even find the right words now. I'm really struggling here. So that's a very good thing. And again, I'll probably end up shifting focus back to the main story, I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm not closing the door on any extra content going forward. This turned out to be a great idea, honestly. It refreshed my fishing skills, which are good. The bad thing is, unfortunately, I don't really get a whole lot out of it. I'll collect my, what, $15 reward? Holy Christ. $5 for each fish that I caught. I'll get a nice little $15 bonus. It's not like I'm hunting animals and I get, my own use out of them, plus I get to bring some meat back to camp. I don't really get to bring anything back to camp as a part of this, which kind of sucks, but... Stagecoach is no longer here. I guess, considering the driver got shot, that makes sense. Oh, I need the fish. You can tell, obviously, the temperature is a lot cooler here in Strawberry than where we came from in Saint Denis. It's like night and day. I got this lovely smallmouth bass here for you, sir. This is the station clerk. Where's the mail office, then?
Hey there. You Hector?
That's me.
Alden tells me you're a discouraged man.
Ah, you must be a friend of that Josiah Trelawney. All right. In that case, I've got something here you might want to take a look at. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was before I could send any mail or collect any mail or anything.
To you now while there's no line.
He's got a tip for me for a coach robbery. Alden, who was the station clerk, I believe at the post office in Rhodes. And he told me that some station clerks across the land are all kind of in on this, giving tips away to those who pay for them about potential coach robberies. So, because they run the station, they know which coaches are coming through, when they're coming through, and they can tip you about potential robbery opportunities. I'm pretty low on cash, and to be honest with you, I should probably take this coach robbery tip, but most importantly right now, I want to mail this fish out so we can at least get that kind of over with here. So we're going to send mail. We're going to send the legendary smallmouth bass just so that we can get that out of the way, and we can say that we've caught and posted 3 of 13 of them. I'm going to receive some mail here.
I assume you didn't just pop in to say hello?
Received the lake lure.
I really think you'll want to take a look at this.
I own a lake lure. How come I didn't get $5 out of it? Is it costing me $5 to send the fish? Is that the idea?
So, you want to take a look or not?
First of all, do I even have a bounty? No, okay, I don't have a bounty, so that's cool. Fine, give me your tip.
Here.
There's a stage heading up from Blackwater. Now, I hear it'll be heavily guarded, so you might want to try a more covert approach. Or Lay down some explosives. I don't know. You're the expert.
Thank you, Hector. Appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, suit yourself.
Maybe it's costing me money to send the fish out. I thought I was getting $5 per fish, but it looks like it might be costing me that money to actually send the fish out. Something like that. Anyways,
Hey, fella.
looks like my reward for the first fish was simply just a lake lure. That's why I'm a little bit confused about that, because that's something that I really own already. I think the best thing to do is to head to Strawberry. I think we should take a bath and rent a room while we're here and maybe try and get some chow. That way, if I choose to record part 70 after this and jump right back into the story missions, I can do that. I'm already ready to go. I just fly out to camp, maybe re-up a little bit more while I'm there and then jump back in. Or if I choose to pursue to do another extra content video after to do some more legendary fish, I could do more legendary fish. I could try this coach robbery. That could be a potential video as well, a different direction that I go in. Nonetheless, I would still be kind of up. I'm going to be saving and quitting here in Strawberry, so I still have the option to do this coach robbery and the fish if I want to for my next video. So yeah, I think just staying at the hotel here is the best option. I haven't really spent a lot of time other than doing in Strawberry, other than doing a couple missions here.
Always welcome at the Welcome Center, yes.
Like, I haven't really been in this inn a whole lot. So they obviously don't have food here, which is interesting. My health core, stamina core, Deadeye are all completely dead. I'm just honestly surprised I haven't killed over and died. I'm honestly surprised that hasn't happened. But nonetheless, let's take a bath first.
I need a bath. That's okay. Can you organize?
All right, head on over when you're ready.
It's just another kind of important thing to get out of the way, especially during such pandemic times. During these pandemic times, hygiene is important, folks. That's the lesson of this Red Dead video.
How about some assistance?
Well, I'll tell you something, the bath assistants here are going to be a lot more classy than they are in, say, Van Horn, but I'm going to have to respectfully decline. I used to call them in all the time, but Arthur's a grown-ass man. What does he need a bath assistant for? He gets all the ladies he wants anyways. Am I right? Okay, now the stream is starting to really tank here, so I'm really stretching things out a little bit now. Okay, so that's good. Well, especially being out doing all the fishing, any hunting that we've done, it's good just to kind of get cleaned up at the end of the day after touching all those fish. I actually think I spent about 2 in-game days fishing there. It felt like about that. I would like a room, sir.
I'd like a room, please.
Room's ready whenever you need.
Damn. Look at the room. Holy Lord, it's beautiful. I'm going to sleep as long as I can. I know 17 hours is a long time, but I'm trying to make as much time as possible pass so that I can try to collect my rewards, whatever it may be, for posting these fish. I don't know if I get a little bit of a reward for each fish I catch. Like, I don't really know what the situation is here. It's supposed to be 24 hours after posting it. That just said something about the stagecoach. Is it back, maybe? Looks like it's back up and running, which is good. So that's stagecoach information. We already took some stagecoach information. Does it expire? Interesting. It's like it is like it expired, that little information piece that the guy gave me. So I think if I wanted to do a coach robbery, I would have to go back and do it. Okay, I'm not too worried about that stagecoach robbery. Then I won't worry too much about it. Does it show up instead in my log? No, I don't know. Anyways, I don't really see it saying that there's any new mail for me here either. So here's what we're gonna do again. We're gonna sleep again. Arthur's gonna get all the rest he could possibly want. And we'll sleep until noon. That'll ensure that 24 hours has passed since posting both of those fish. Just to make sure that I'm not missing any of the rewards from catching and posting these fish. I just want to make sure. Yeah, usually it lets you know pretty instantly if you've got mail. Maybe it'll take me walking outside to do that. Looks like it's snowing or raining or something.
If you're interested.
Wow, I just slept for the longest time I think I have in this entire game. More than any time I've slept combined. All time I've slept combined. I slept in total about, what, 29 hours? I think I just had Arthur Morgan sleep, about 29 hours. Gang's gonna be hunting me down any second now, wondering where I'm at. My cores are all 100% though, and I didn't even have to eat. I was just gonna eat some canned goods and whatnot from my inventory, but that's no longer necessary.
Whoa!
I hear you didn't move
Suit
fast
yourself.
enough last time.
No, I
got another one
didn't
here
move
if you're
fast
interested.
See, I didn't move fast enough on the robbery opportunity, so now he's got to give me another tip if I would like. There's no mail here for me to receive. Looks like I've got everything that I can from catching and posting 3 fish. So I think this extra content video is coming to a close here. I think this is a good place to save and quit. I just want to reiterate my plan going forward. We accomplished bonding with Buell. We accomplished at least starting the legendary fish. I was actually able to catch 3. I said I wanted about 3 or 4. Now the next video that I record and post can go one of 2 ways. I can jump right back into the story again now that I've cleaned up the bonding with Buell. That was really the main point of doing this. I was just doing the fish as something to do in between, to give me something to do to ride to and from to bond the horse. But I actually kind of enjoyed that enough where I might do another extra content video before jumping back into main story. So I could jump into the main story again, do that Dutch mission at camp, so I can ride out to camp, make sure I'm 100%, and then jump right into the Dutch mission, or I can continue to catch some fish. I'm not sure exactly what direction I'm going to go, and you'll know once you start seeing the videos posted. But I feel like that was another good chunk done there. Even if it was only catching a few fish, we definitely got a taste for it, even if I don't continue it. You know, we did a quarter of them, 3 out of the first 12 anyways, so, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. It's better than 0. Same with legendary animals. You know, at least we've gotten a handful of them, and, you know, not just left them all. We've got a good taste of what they offer. So, yeah, definitely happy about that. I will stay here in Strawberry. I'll save and quit here in Strawberry so that if I want to just go back to main story, I'll just ride out there. It'll give me some time to maybe recap some stuff, and then if I want to jump into fishing again, I can just figure out where I'm going from here. I don't want to go back to camp now and then get caught up in that Dutch mission, because not all of y'all watching this video might be caught up with our main series line right now. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully I made that not excruciatingly boring. Catching fish is not necessarily the most exciting thing to do in a video game, but I think we did good there. Muskie, largemouth, nope, muskie, lake sturgeon, smallmouth bass. There you go. Catching those 3 legendary fish, each one of those fish turned out to be about 0.1% of the final completion of the game. So, oh, Jesus, that's really depressing. You might see more extra content. You might see more main story. You might see both. I'm going to try and improve my uploading schedule a little bit for the next little while I'm off. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more streaming done. That's all I got for you. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you all got anything to say, and I will see you on the other side.